my friend. Today we're making this card using my Cozy Sketch #1. Classic layered layout that makes card making really simple. Easy, but so pretty. We are going to start with the basic layout, which is 8.5 by 11, cut to 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. That's going to give us a standard card that fits in a medium-sized envelope. Then we have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of pattern paper. I'm deciding which side. I think I like this way better. And then I have a 3 by 4 stamping space. My stamping seal, and I'm going to use that to attach. We just get started with this right away. We're going to attach the pattern paper right to the card base. And already I have a card. Add that down, move that out of the way. And now I'm ready to stamp. I am using this sweet little swing, and I'm also going to be using my basic smoky slate. I'm using my stamping pad so I get a good image. Open up my ink without getting it on me, and I am using the Gliding Garden Swing, a few pieces, a few stamps from that set. This is the first time I've used it, so they're new, so I need to wake them up a little bit. When I peel these photopolymers away, the swing, I'm going to peel that off, put it on my block, and then I'm going to just kind of rub on it, stick it on my hand, wake it up a little bit. Yeah. Then it's going to take the ink better. Check it out. Where do I want it before I ink it so I don't get it all over me? And then I'm going to use the smoky slate ink, which is not going to be harsh. It's going to be kind of subtle. I like subtles best. And then stamp that little baby down on the card. Easy peasy. Now, so I don't get ink all over my fingers and everything else, I am going to use my Stampin' Scrub. This is one of my favorite tools. I do not like to get messy. So this has two sides. One's a wet side and a dry side. The wet side, you spritz the cleaner on. It smells really good. I really do like it. And I spray it on 2 or 3 times. That's the wet side. And then I take my stamp with the ink on it, and I just kind of rub it around, and then I dry it off. The mess stays in the Stampin' Scrub. It's awesome. Then I just peel my stamp away, no ink on my fingers, and I put it back. And I try to make myself get in that habit of putting it away, cleaning it and putting it away each time. I don't always do that. But I am keeping this card making simple, and I only have 1 block. So it kind of helps me put it away because I have to clean it off so I can use the next one. Old Olive is one of my faves. I use this ink a lot. Notice there is a danger on my table. I left the smoky slate open, but I'm coming back to it. But I could put my hand in that, so be careful. Figuring out where it's going to go before I ink it up. Yep, I think I like it. Well, that means I'm going to get it on my pad. So I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper and slide that behind so that I don't get it on my Stampin' pad. All right? Ready? Ink this baby up. Easy peasy. Set it down. Okay, that looks like a good spot. There's no wrong in stamping. It's just imaginative creations that you come up with. Stamp it down. Don't wiggle. And oh, I love it. So now my swing looks like it's from a branch. Awesome. Again, we're going to clean it before I move on. It's already wet, so I don't need to spray it again. Just go on the wet side and the dry side. It's super quick. It really is. Fold it up, and we're ready to go. Peel that used stamp off. Put it back on the piece of paper, on the backing sheet, that clear plastic, so I don't lose it. Because I promise you, if you leave it on your desk, it's going to get stuck on the back of a stamp pad or on the back of a Stampin' Scrub, and it's gone. I'm also adding this little bush, which I'm not sure I really like it, but I added it. So we'll live with it. I don't know why there'd be a bush hanging from the swing. Then I decide, oh, maybe I should add a second one. Okay, stop. Just leave it alone. It was kind of a silly thing to add in the first place, but I did. Clean that stamp off and put it away. Now I'm ready to add a little something to my swing. And I could leave it just the way it is. It's really pretty. But I'm going to put my ink away, and then I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends to add a little color. I really don't have to, but I love to color, so I'm going to add my blends. Notice I have blue, which is a weird, why do I have the blue? You'll see in a little bit that I use it for something else. I decide that I really need other colors, so I reach into my bag of tricks, which I don't think I show you, and I grab some gray to do my swing, and then I'm going to use some old olive. Actually, I think I'm using Mossy Meadow in a blend. Yep, Mossy Meadow, light and dark, to add to my tree and my bush. Now, I don't necessarily need to color the whole thing in. I'm just kind of dotting it because I want it to look a little more textured, a little more leaves. Coloring doesn't have to be hard. It truly doesn't. So this is just kind of randomly adding leaves to this. I'm not coloring it all in. I'm just adding color with the leaves, filling them in a little bit. But I'm not really filling in the actual stamp spaces. I'm just adding some dimension to my card. I always feel like there should be music playing while I'm stamping and then coloring, but I do like to color. And sometimes I think it's good to give you to see how long it really does take. It really doesn't take much time at all. I do bring a little bit of the dark in, but it isn't truly necessary. There's not really shading going on, but it's okay to add a little variation to your image. The more shading that you do, the more light and dark, it gives it a little bit more depth. Looks more real. Just a little here and there, few dots. And then I'm going to color in my swing. But I realize I don't have the color that I need, so back to the bucket, which is off to the side and you can't see it. And I'm grabbing my gray. Please remember that Stampin' Blends need to lay down. They can't stand up. That's because they have the ink inside that center, the black part. And if you stand it up, the ink will all run to one end and might dry out the other. So you want them to lay down. Again, I'm not really coloring the swing. I'm just adding a little bit. So it's kind of messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just filling it in a little. This is one that I didn't necessarily need to color a great deal. I just need to fill it in a little. So a little bit of that smoky slate. I didn't go with light and dark. Just add a little color. You can see that it's just kind of random. It's not super crazy. And now I'm happy with that. I'm going to grab the front of my card. And now I'm going to set this off a little bit to the right. Now I am keeping these super simple cards. These 3 pieces, the card base, the pattern paper, and the stamping space. I could add lots more to it, but it's really cool just the way it is. Just simple. So I'm going to put my sentiment inside the card, not necessarily on the cover. And I'm going to, again, grab another piece from this stamp set. Sometimes this takes me longer to decide what I want the card to say. This isn't a specific card for someone. This is just to add to my card stash so it's ready whenever. If it's a specific card, then I kind of would know what I wanted it to say. But here's a situation where I just need a little something, something. Add that in the, I'm deciding middle, bottom. I leave room to write. And it says sending sunshine. That could be a sympathy card. It could be just an any day card. It could be a get well card. It's kind of a little generic. It would be whatever I need it for. I go back to the stamps because I remember there was a cute pillow. And I grab the little pillow and add that, again with my smoky slate, on the side of my sentiment, just to kind of highlight it a little. And this is where my blue come into play. And I grab my Stampin' Blends. And again, I'm not coloring the whole thing. I'm just adding a little bit. So this isn't really a coloring card. It's more just a little accent. And we are done. Super simple, easy peasy, using our cozy sketch to get us going. And then we have this great little card to add to the stash.